Hello, I'm Ken, and this is Inside the Toon, and this is your daily news review, all things Newcastle United. Following the defeat on Sunday in the local derby, there's been a huge amount of discussion about Eddie Howe's future. We've also learnt that Sven Botman had surgery following the match, which we'll talk about. Harvey Barnes was a late call-up to the England squad as well, following his strong performances. And there's some transfer talk to get into as well. So join me. I'm Ken. So Eddie's under fire following the defeat on Sunday. But the club the rumours are that the club are standing firmly behind Eddie Howe as manager. My personal thoughts is it's the right thing to do. And I'm sure there'll be people that will both be Eddie stays or in, or Eddie out. If you have a thought, put it in the comments. So despite recent setbacks, including the Champions League exit, following the heavy second half hammering in Barcelona, the board are committed to a summer rebuild with Eddie Howe leading the project. We have a number of aged players and players that have been on the fringe, let's say, but have excelled when they've played. But that's now been the case for 2 or 3 seasons, and it is the time for a change of the guard, a transition, etc., in my view. But again, if you've got thoughts, then put them in the comments. Craig Hope, the journalist for the Mail, has also come out with his thoughts on this. Is Eddie the best man still for the job, or is this the end of an era? Craig has actually come out and said, yes, he is the best man for the job, despite the recent setbacks. Craig offered strong backing for Eddie, describing him as the best manager Newcastle have had in recent years, and someone who deserves time to turn things around. I totally agree with Craig's thoughts on this. Craig believes the club should support Howe through a difficult period, including allowing a full summer rebuild to reset the squad. However, Craig Hope also acknowledges concerns, as I do, suggesting Newcastle may be entering an end-of-cycle phase following inconsistent performances and a messy transfer window last summer. While the hierarchy remains supportive, he said, internally there are underlying questions about direction and decision-making. Overall, his view is clear: stick with Howe, but recognise that change and improvements are urgently needed. Obviously, this is a topic that is going to run at least until we play Palace, which isn't till about April the 12th, I think. I think it's on Sky now as well, 2 p.m. on a Sunday. It's going to run. The talk shows since Sunday, especially on YouTube, have thoroughly analysed this, and I've listened to quite a few of them and watched them. And people have views, and unfortunately, they get personal occasionally, which is not something that I look to do or invite. But again, people are entitled to an opinion. So there you go. Eddie in for me, but I'm sure somebody will tell me otherwise. So on Sunday, Sven was caught by a boot in his face. The commentators at the time said it was accidental. I watched the replays. It was high, and a high boot should normally, if it connects, which it did in this case, obviously, because Sven needed surgery after for a facial fracture, then it's at least a yellow card in my view. And if it's really violent, then it's a red card. Was this violent? I don't know. That'll be open to discussion and opinions. Again, if you've got a thought on this, put it in the comments. The big however for me is that nothing was done. The commentators said it was nothing, yet it's ended up with surgery. And there is a theme to these derbies now where Newcastle players get injured. I wish Sven all the best in his recovery. They're saying he might be back for the last couple of weeks, but if it's only 2 weeks, what's the point? But we'll wait and see, shall we? So looking at the history of the derby, especially for Newcastle players, in the cup match back in 23, I think it was, Dan Burn was out for months with a bad back and had to have procedures on it to correct it. Nick Pope, although not injured in the 23 match, around that time ended up with accumulation of shoulder problems and was out for a long time. Then we have the real serious one, in my view, the Dan Burn one, where he came off the pitch finding it hard to breathe, and it resulted in ribs being broken and lung issues. So again, not good for the game and not good for the derby. No player should be coming off with these serious types of injuries. And then you've got Sven Botman. Like I say, was it deliberate? It was high, it connected. Should have been a booking at least. And maybe then the guy would not be on the pitch later. Who knows? After our derby match on Sunday, Arsenal played Man City in the Carabao Cup final. And congratulations to Man City winning it again. On the Arsenal side, Ezra didn't make the matchday squad, and it turned out he was injured. He had been called up as part of the group of 35 for the 2 internationals, Hungary and Japan. And Harvey Barnes didn't make the 35. But as a result of the injury, then Harvey's made the 35 now. So I wish him the best. I think he deserves a chance to be seen back in the England camp. And his performances and his goals have taken us far in this very up and down season where we've excelled and then at other times we've really disappointed. The transfer rumour mill is in full flow very early. Obviously, Newcastle are a club that other clubs see as a picking. And obviously, we got players like Bruno, Tonali, Gordon, and Livramento, and others that are of value to other clubs who no doubt will be in the Champions League. And they're vying for places at the moment as to who says they're interested. And now the interested level has gone up to, from what we're hearing, that rumours of agents now talking with other clubs. All of this is being denied in the case of Bruno and Tonali. And both Bruno and Tonali have come out and said that they're comfortable where they are. Obviously, at the end of the season, if Newcastle don't make the Champions League or Europe, they might reconsider their positions. The big however to this is, I think Bruno will stay. He loves the area. Tonali's come out again in the last 24 hours and said he's here. He's here to stay. He came for a project and he's going to see it through. So we'll wait and see. Obviously, money talks, and it's a two-way thing. Money talks for money coming into Newcastle, which the board might see is useful for the reset and the rebuilding that Craig Hope has talked about and I've mentioned in this video. But again, we're going to have to wait and see, aren't we? And finally, I can't not mention war flags and what a magnificent display that they put on in the derby match or before the derby match. Apparently 700 hours was was used to put all those flags on the seats that every fan waved, and every fan did wave. The display was great. The fan engagement was great, and it was enjoyed, and it's been shown across Europe and worldwide now. And they're just top of their league, war flags, and the effort that goes in is amazing. So I'm Ken, and this is Inside the Toon. So if you want to join me and you like the videos, then hit subscribe, absolutely free. On TikTok, hit follow. And until the next update, I'm Ken, and have a great day.